So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to use this slope here as a replacement for the slope of the mountain. And that's going to be our lower part. It's going to be a perfect example of what should be happening right in here. So you have a slope, something at the bottom, and on the photograph we have the accumulation of material right down there. And that's what we're going to show by example today. So what I'm going to do is to take first about 250 milliliters of sediment and weigh that. Oh, there's the picture as well, shit. How much do you think it's going to weigh? 250 milliliters of. When you have 250 milliliters, how much does it weigh? Anyone? A bit louder? Yep. All right, I'm happy you're not giving me any answer. 250 milliliters of water will give you 250 milligrams because you have a density of 1. Okay. So let's look at what's happening. So we're going to pull that. And let's put a bit more. Can you see anything? Or it's just like way too far? Hopefully you'll be able to see stuff on the video. So the first year I did this experiment, I didn't put any tarpaulin on the ground. That was not a great idea. So if you were to look at it from close, hopefully you're going to be able to see from the video, is that that slope here is taking a slope which is a gradient linked to what? You have a stability gradient depending on the type of material that you have. That slope here for dry sand usually will be about 30 degrees. So if I haven't totally messed up my experiment, that slope should be about, I could lie now. What does it say? There you go. It says 33 degrees. So that's the slope at which the material stops to spread. The material is going to accumulate at the bottom of the slope and try to reach, when it's dry sand, 30 degrees. And then when you look at how the material are being spread, you could see that on top you have all the fine sand that stops, and all the larger rocks, like this one, which was a agglomerated sand, or that bit here, tends to go further. Now, if I mix water with sediment, this one becomes messy. Let's put a bit of water, sediment, and a lot of water. So we have a lot of water and very little sediment to simulate a river flow or anything that comes down on the fan. Hopefully it's going to stay in the center. I don't have much hope. So it's wet in the sand. Let's put it more. Let me wet that sand a bit more so it doesn't do anything more. Okay. Hopefully this one is the last one because I'm going to be scolded again. So you see your sediment being spread out a bit more. That's what we want to see here. Well, it's just at the limit. Safe. You see that good sediment here? The angle is almost flat. And that's what happened on your fan. So when you have something which is driven mostly by water, let's channel this a bit. when you have something which is channeled mostly by water, your sediments are going to flow, and what's going to happen is going to also erode the sediment from that location. Okay. So, that area here, that's why I just wore that early trousers today. That's what you can see on that fan. You can see that trough in the center and the fan all around. So all of that has been building. And then you get a bit more rainfall and less sediment coming through. And all the fan get eroded again. And with a bit of imagination, that's what we have here. You can see the side of the fan being elevated and the center part being lower. So I'm going to have a lot of sediment. And a bit of water. And what I have to do is to try to mix that. And once it's being mixed properly, there is nothing to sediment. You're going to see that the angle of repose is going to be not so flat compared to the others. And we should see a decoupling of the water going further and the sediment stopping on the way. So that's why I'm cross-making my finger that everything goes right. Stay here. So it almost worked. So ideally you will see that fan here, which is a debris flow fan, which has a steeper slope. That bit, so you can see it on video, that bit here shows a bit of a slope. That's where most of the sediment are being deposited, and here we are in debris flow process. We can say that because the angle is not like almost less than 5 or 3 degrees, it shows a bit of an angle, and then the bulk of the material is deposited, and we have what we call a dewatering process, and downstream the water is going to continue with less sediment and transform. So that's the next lesson I would like you to remember, is that one process can start very often like, let's say, landslide. That landslide, which is mostly dry material up here, is going to be mixed with water from the river or water from the rainfall, transform into a debris flow, flow down quite fast, and then it's going to meet usually like a slope break or modification in the landscape, and it's going to leave a lot of its sediment on the way, and then splurge out and become more normal river flow.